First person that you're going to be hearing from is our new supervisor of guidance, Mr. Mormile. So please give Mr. Mormile a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to be brief because we have a lot to say. We're going to do a college readiness presentation. Second, first is going to be a presentation on a real neat program over at Mercer called CareerPrep. But before I do that, I want to thank you guys. Last week you guys took the HESPA. We had one of the best weeks we had as far as administration goes. I'm the testing guy, and you guys made my life much easier last week because of your focus and all the things that you did. So I want to thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. Okay, with that, hopefully the results are going to reflect all the good that you did and the staff did in getting you guys where you needed to be. With that, I want to introduce Dana Heiss-Depew, who's the Assistant Superintendent for both Mercer County Technical Schools and Mercer County Special Services. She's going to talk to you. She's an old classmate of mine from Trenton State. She's going to talk to you about CareerPrep.
Wow. Hi, class of 2015. How is everybody? Good, good. So if you have questions, stop me at any time, okay? I'm here to tell you about a great program that we offer at the tech school. It's only for 12th graders, so it's something that you need to start thinking about right now. I'm going to show you a little video first. It's going to tell you a lot about the program. It was made by one of our former students, Brad Shutak. He has his own company now. It's called Easy Coast Productions, and we had a great time making it. It's with our real students. You might know some of them. So I'm going to play that for you, and then we'll talk some more.
The CareerPrep program at Mercer County Community College specializes in fire science, exercise science, business studies, theater, and dance, along with other things.
So a program like this prepares students for possible future careers. It is interesting, it is exciting. Students integrating into regular college classes and seeing what those courses are actually like really gives them some perspective on what college is about.
There's no divide between college and high school students. They become friends.
You get treated like a college student. You have the same opportunities.
You start feeling like a college student, but then you wait, it's like, oh, I gotta get to the bus and go back to school.
It stretches what they're able to do, and it matures them rather quickly. It also gives them the opportunity to see what they can expect from college.
It allows you to get a grasp in the real world.
The program itself can be something that can really set them up for the future.
When you leave high school, you come in as a college student, you already know some knowledge that most people will have to learn when they start here, and you already have that in your head.
By going through CareerPrep as a 12th grader, your first year of college is taken care of.
You're taking classes for free, earning credits towards a degree that you're probably going to be studying later on anyway.
All the students who wanted to move on to a 4-year have actually transferred. So we have a 100% transfer rate.
Rutgers, Montclair, William Patterson, Rowan University, like all the really good schools. The credits from Mercer County transfer really well.
I have a shift every Friday from 12 to 2 to be on a radio station. A high school student being on a radio station, which is pretty cool. My name is Tony Quaker here on Viking 89. Welcome to the Jumping Jack Hour. It's up the music and turn off the mic and then just listen.
You're working with professionals. Everybody who teaches you works in the field.
You have people there that know what they're doing. It's so lively. They know what they're teaching you.
We're preparing you for professional experiences.
They're guiding you to get to where you need to be.
Helping you transition to that college experience.
So this is your calling, you need to be here.
You will not regret it. You will love every day.
If you are a junior and interested in career prep, I highly recommend seeking out one of your guidance counselors for more information.
Apply now.
Apply now.
Apply now.
So CareerPrep is a program, as I said, for 12th graders only. We have a connection with the Mercer County Community College, and we have articulation agreements. So you are earning 12 college credits while you participate in this program, and you're doing it for free. So parents love when you take the opportunity to get involved in these types of programs because they can also save a lot of money for your families. So we looked at some of the local colleges. University of Delaware, it's about $14,000 for 12 college credits. So if you can get a jump start with CareerPrep to get your 12 credits for free when you're a senior, it's a really great opportunity, and it's also a lot of fun. Some of the things that you do in the program are getting involved in classes with regular college students. So you are sitting in class with adults. It's fun, you learn a lot. You also get to have great college professors, like Professor Person, who is very famous. Actually, he's going to be in a movie. He's the theater professor, and he will offer you all of his expertise in the theater program. Another program is the dance program, where you get to work with people like Janelle Byrne, who is quite renowned in the area. It's a great program too. I will show you our website. It's the ncts.website. And if you see the little button there, it says apply now. So what you can do is speak to your guidance counselor and apply right there for the program. Some of the programs that we also have to offer are fire science, radio and TV, culinary arts. Now when you think of a program like culinary arts, everybody needs to cook, as we were talking before. So it's not necessarily getting involved in a program that might be something that you're going to pursue at college. You might just pursue an interest.
What time to what time is this like during the day?
Very good question. The program is about from 11:30 until about 2:30. Your district provides you transportation in a bus, or you can drive and park. Other questions? Okay, let me keep talking about some of our other programs. We also have business studies, which is a program if you're interested in the business field. We have a program for students who are interested in hospitality. So that's restaurant management, hotel management, some great opportunities there.
So just to piggyback on that.
Yes.
So it's 11:30 to 2:30. What your counselor will do is they'll make sure you get your required Lawrence classes in the morning. You know, your English, your PE, your math, and whatever else you need here before you go. So you'll be all set for your full day.
So your classes count towards your graduation. So you take 2 classes in the fall and 2 classes in the spring. You get 5 credits for each of these 3 credit college courses. So you're earning both your high school and your college credits at the same time. Did you have a question? Anybody? Yeah. Yes? Yes?
Are there any prerequisites to applying to programs?
Very good question. The only prerequisite is for our new program, which is our pre-engineering program, and that's that you needed to take high school physics. Yes?
Are there any medical courses?
Medical? That's a very good question. We do not have a nurse on the college campus, so you have to be aware of that, but there are no medical requirements for the program. Yes?
What's the difference between like a program like this and VOTEC?
Okay, this is a very good question. So all technical school programs prepare you to go into the college path or into the vocational path. This helps you to go into the college path. It starts you off with the 12 credits towards whatever you might be interested in. But you also have the opportunity to work, get a job. Some students go on to culinary arts, working in a restaurant. Other students go on to hospitality, fire science, firefighters. So, great question.
A big difference between VOTEC and this, CareerPrep, is the programs offered. If you saw what programs were offered at CareerPrep, in both tactics, it's cosmetology, it's auto repair, it's auto body, it's those programs.
Another thing to consider is that you do need to maintain a B average in these courses for your credits to articulate and for you to get the college credits. Attendance is also very important. In career prep, 3 absences is the limit, so certainly keep that in mind. We have wonderful professors who are understanding, but if you do have excessive absences, that can impact. Yes?
Are there woodworking or metalworking classes?
Those are some of our technical school programs at SciPec and Assenpink. Good question, yes. Yes. Sure, the business program, you will get to take classes related to communication, technology, and business studies. I'm sorry, what? Business studies are like economics, things related to accounting, so yes. We don't have a marketing program right now, no. Yes?
Okay, so is it like, are you in a classroom or is it more like hands-on stuff?
It really depends. In culinary arts, you're in a kitchen, okay? For a good portion of the time, you study, you do Serve Safe certification, you do pastry arts, so you do spend a lot of time in the kitchen, as you saw in the video.
Would this interfere without the lunch? Like, yeah, wouldn't even be able to get
And we do treat you like your regular college students. There's no bells. We do not monitor you coming to class on time. You have to do that on your own. So you're really independent and really a regular college student on the Mercer County campus. Yes?
Do you have any computer science courses around?
We do have an information technology program. Yes, we do. Yes. I'm sorry, what? Zoology, not yet, but that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, oh yes. Sciences, we have the pre-engineering program, so that's an option. We also have exercise science for students who might want to go into coaching or occupational therapy or something like that. Good point. Credits do transfer, but you have to talk to whatever college you're going to be going because they have to accept them. So it's not guaranteed, but as you heard in the video, they've had a really good success rate and most of the credits do transfer, yes.
What is the highest level of American Sign Language offered in Mercer?
The highest level, I do not know. That's a very good question. But they do offer American Sign Language at the college, not through CareerPrep.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Does anyone know how many credits it takes to graduate college? How many college credits does it take to graduate college?
100.
Incorrect. Too low.
1,000.
It's about 130 credits. So this program, I know you guys were paying attention, gets you 12 credits for free. And as Dana said at the end, if you check with your four-year college to see that those credits that you're taking here at Mercer transfer, that's almost 10% of what you'll need to graduate college you'll already have in your pocket for free going into a college. That's pretty impressive, okay? Especially in this day and age with AP. It's similar to AP, but now colleges are accepting AP credit less and less. So this is a wonderful program. You need a 3.0 from Lawrence to apply. It's a serious program. It's college credits while you're still in high school. So they want to make sure you're a good student, with good attendance before they take a chance on you. Okay, we're going to move on. Our second presentation is going to be done by your counselors. Do you still have a question?
Yeah, one more question. Okay, so what is like...
Why don't we speak?
Okay, sounds good.
Because you seem interested, so I want to make sure you know everything you need to. Your counselors are going to talk to you about what you guys should be doing right now for college. Okay, Lawrence is a good school as far as getting kids into 2- and 4-year colleges, so we're going to tell you the things that you need to do. Some of you have already met with your counselors, others have not. This will supplement that talk with your counselors. So with that, I'm going to introduce Ms. Coben, who's going to start you off on this presentation.
Hi guys, good morning. So if any of you have questions as we go along the same, just raise your hand. It's hard to see with the lights, but we'll all do our best to answer them. You will all be seen. Just be patient with us. We're doing scheduling and lots of weather interruptions, but you will all get to be seen when you all will have individual plans with us. Okay, so the first thing, college is pretty daunting, applying to college. It can be scary for some of you, understandably, and you can always think of reasons why not to go. What we want to do is to help you understand why you can go to college, either for a 2-year college, a technical school, or a 4-year college or university. And the best way to help with the stress, because it's going to be stressful for you guys for next year, particularly between September and December, when you're going to be doing your the bulk of your applying to schools. So the best way to help you with that stress is for you to feel prepared. And that's what we're here to do, to help you feel and get prepared for college. So I want to put in a plug right now. One of the things that we offer, and we hope all of you will take advantage of it, is an application boot camp. It'll be our 3rd year this summer that we're going to offer it. It's either the 3rd or 4th week in August. We haven't set up the dates exactly yet. But it's going to be working conference or workshop. We're going to ask you to bring your laptops. We'll provide them if you don't have one. And each day we'll focus on a different topic and get you starting with your essays that you have to do, starting with your applications, talk about the Rutgers application, financial aid, etc. So look out for the notice when we send them and hope you'll sign up. Anything you want to say about that, Ms. Welch, the boot camp? Okay. So there are lots of colleges. I don't know how they came up with this number, some research somewhere, but there are a lot of colleges, as you see, in the United States. It helps to think of different types of colleges. Some of them, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but a liberal arts college. A liberal arts college can be either large or small. There is, Rutgers has a liberal college of arts and sciences, but usually liberal arts colleges means that the college or university wants you to be a well-rounded student. So they want you to take courses in a variety of disciplines, and then for most colleges, you will declare your major at the end of your sophomore year. Most students, do you know what they start their major in, or how they go into college? Undeclared, that's right. Thank you. So you don't have to know what you want to do. A lot of students will change their majors too. But in a liberal arts, you get to sort of taste what it's like in a variety of different areas, and then you'll make a decision your end of your sophomore year. There's also state schools and private schools, and that's something that you guys should know the difference. State schools, like in New Jersey, we have a number of them. Can anyone just mention one of them? Rutgers, TCNJ, what's another? Rider is not. Rider's a private. Rowan, William Patterson, etc. Okay, the difference is state colleges get funded by the state, right. It's cheaper if you reside in the state to go to that school. So for a state college in New Jersey, to live at the school and take courses, a full load of courses at the school, it runs about anywhere from $20,000 to about $26,000 to go to a state college if you're in New Jersey and you're going to a state college in New Jersey. For private colleges, they get funded by either alumni who have come back and contributed money to the school, or the schools will have contracts with corporations or the government, and they get their funds that way. It's more expensive. The rider, for instance, it will cost anywhere, I think it's up in the 40s now for rider, yes. So, but they can go all the way up anywhere from a low of about $36,000. Schools in the south tend to be a little cheaper than schools in the north or in the northeast, but they'll go anywhere from about $35,000 all the way up to over $60,000. I think NYU and GW, George Washington University, are two of the most expensive schools, private schools right now. Okay, anybody have any questions about the types of schools? I hear a lot of chatter. I'd like you guys to kind of follow along and pay attention if you have questions to ask. Okay, so how do you choose? Well, there's lots of different ways. Basically, you're going to be doing research. You're going to be doing research on Naviance, and we'll show you a little later about what that program is. You're going to have to use Naviance because you're going to have to sync it with something called the Common Application. So we want you to really do a lot of work and a lot of research on Naviance and also on any other online sites. The other way is to do research is to actually go to the schools, and we'll talk to you more about that. The college visit is really important because colleges will send you ads and everything looks great in their brochures, but you have to actually go there, talk to people. We also have college visits. That's another way for you to do research. So here are some things that you may want to think about as you do your research. Where is it? Do you want to be in the north? Do you like the cold? Are you a snowboarder? Do you want to be down south? If you think, no, I want to go as far away from home as possible, you have to remember, you're going to come back about 4 times a year and it can be expensive. So going to California sounds cool, but you have to come back 4 times a year, and you know that travel can be costly. You also want to think about the academics, the entrance difficulty, and the major. If you know what your major is, or if you have an idea, well, I'm more like a biochemistry, or I'm more into the sciences, you want to make sure that that school, whatever the school is, at least you're not sure about it, but you know you're thinking about it. You want to make sure that school offers it and that they offer a good program. So one of the things you want to look at is you want to look at the labs, and you want to talk to people about how up to date are their labs for sciences. You also want to think about the size of a school. There are advantages and disadvantages to, you know, each one, going to a very big school or going to a smaller school. You may want to visit different size schools to see what it feels like and to talk to kids who actually go there. Usually the bigger schools, they'll have more extracurricular activities, they'll have more choice of courses, but you often are in a lecture hall with, it's not unusual, especially the introductory courses, to get a school that's about, a class that's about 100 to maybe 500 students. So that's something you want to think about, you know, the size of the school. The other is the campus setting. Do you want something in the city? Do you want something more rural, suburban? Again, you want to visit the school. Athletics, how many here are thinking about playing serious athletics at college? Okay, so, you know, the Divisions, whether they're Division 1, 2, or 3, you know, Division 1 or 2 gives scholarships. Guys? Thank you. Division 3 doesn't, but you want to make sure you talk to the coaches of the colleges and do your homework for the NCAA, which we're going to talk about later too. The other is cost. That's realistic. You have to have that discussion with your parents. You know, you will be completing what's called a government form called the FAFSA for financial aid, but you need to have that discussion beforehand with your parents. Okay, so the most important thing about formulating your college search is to start now, start early. That's why we're meeting with you, that's why we're talking to you now. This is the Naviance site, website. We'll all be, as I said, you'll all be using it. We have information and sheets about that in the guidance office. It's also important to sort of kind of categorize your school. It's okay to have some dream schools, and those, you want a few of them, 1 or 2 reach schools. Most of them, however, should be match schools. And when I say match, I mean academic match. It's really hard sometimes to look at yourself realistically, but we have these scattergrams on Naviance that can help you do that. You want to be realistic about what your academic average is with what the school's requirement is. If the school says the average is like a 4.0 GPA and you have a 3.0 GPA, there's nothing wrong with a 3.0 GPA, but you have to know the likelihood of getting into that school is going to be slim. So you want to tier your schools. Have some dream or reach schools, but also most of them should be a good academic match for you. And you should find some schools that you can feel proud of going to, that you like, that interest you, that are a good academic match for you. And then you also want to include some what they call safety schools. And those are schools that you feel pretty sure that you can get into. Don't include on your list safety schools if you don't like the schools. Don't just have a safety to have a safety. You want to have a safety school that you really feel comfortable in, that you feel like, yeah, I could go there. Okay. The overall, it's probably how many schools people say, how many schools should I apply to? That's a kind of a personal thing, but on the average, I think students should have at least a list of about 10 schools that they'd like to go visit. Most students, I guess, apply between 4 and 10 schools. Some have applied more than that. If you're applying to more than like 15 to 20 schools, that tells us, first of all, it's very, very expensive because it costs. Each application can cost over $50. But it also tells us that you're not sure what you want. Perhaps you need to do some more research. Okay, so what do they look for? They're going to look for a bunch of things. The first and most important is your academic record. That is what your grades are, how much you've challenged yourself in high school, what kinds of courses you've taken, the level of courses, your GPA. They also look, most of them, at test scores, although we do have a list now of about 700 schools of what they call test optional. So they're going to be looking at the SATs and the ACTs. Those are standardized tests. They'll look at essays that for some schools, you have to write some essays. And they will also look at recommendations. Counselor recommendations are important, but so are teacher recommendations. You may want to start thinking about 2 teachers. You don't have to ask them now, but you may want to start thinking about 2 teachers that you would like to ask and talk to. Okay, so I'm now going to introduce an intern that we have in the guidance office, and her name is Miss Reeves. She is presently a student, and she also works to go through. She's a graduate student at Rider. So,
thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to talk about deadlines with you guys. I'm sure you might have heard of some of these terms before, but I'm just going to explain them a little further for you. So regular decision is, there's a deadline for all students, for all applications, and you just turn in your apps by the deadline, and the college committee will go over your application and start making their decision whether you're in. Rolling admission is you can send in your application at any time, and they review your application as it comes in, and you usually get a response between 2 and 4 weeks. Early decision is a binding decision. You're obligated to go to that school if you apply under early decision. And then early action is you're basically letting the school know that you really want to go there, but you're not committed to go there should you be accepted. And like I said, early decision, we want to stress, it's binding. So you want to make sure that you really, really want to go to that school because you're going to have to go if you're accepted because it's a contract. And you know, just based off of experience, deadlines, you get more and more deadlines as you get older. I mean, I have deadlines, multiple deadlines every day, every week. So getting used to working under a deadline is good because it's going to keep you organized and you're going to prioritize things. So get into the habit of being organized and, you know, getting things done by a certain time. All right.
Hi, everybody. I know I saw a bunch of you last Saturday at our March SAT testing. How many of you were there? Okay, so that's a great way to get started. All right. SAT, for those of you who have not signed up yet, there's 2 kinds of standardized tests. There's the SAT and the ACT. And briefly, SAT has 3 sections to it: critical reading, mathematics, and writing. The scoring is a total of 1,600 or 2,400, depending on whether you're looking at the 3 sections or the 2 sections. Most colleges just look at the 2 sections, meaning that they don't really look at the writing, okay? Okay, to register, for those of you who have not registered yet, it's all done online, all right? The website is right here, as well as our, what we call the CEEB code, which is the College Board code, all right? With all the new security, and I'm sure you've read the articles in the paper about people hiring people to take the test for them. Because of all this, security is very tight for the ACT and the SAT. So you do have to have your picture scanned into the application, and when you print off your ticket that you need for testing, your picture shows on the ticket that you have. So when you come into us, to Lawrence, to register and say, here, I'm here to take my test, you have to show the ticket with your picture on it and a photo ID, okay, just to get in the front door. When you get up to the testing room, we go through the whole process again. So, like I said, it's high security. Official reports, when you start applying to colleges, they are going to ask you to have official reports sent to them. We can't send them from Lawrence, all right? They have to go from College Board or ACT. So when you're signing up, when you're registering for a test, they do ask you for 4 colleges where you would like the scores to be sent. That's free. Take advantage of it. Even if you're not sure where you're going to apply, pick 4 schools and have your scores sent, all right?
Ms. Welch, we got a question over here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I can't even see with the lights. What's your question?
Are the scores automatically sent? Like, what if you get a score that you don't want, that you don't really like, you want to take it, so they automatically send it to the school?
Okay, the question was, are the scores automatically sent? You mean from College Board? Yes. If you signed up for the 4 free, yes, they automatically get sent. So if you choose, like if you're nervous about the whole test, then you wouldn't want to put a school down, okay? Any other questions about that? No? Okay, the score reports again, either from College Board or ACT, and again, there's a fee involved every time you want to send your scores. You'll go back on that website, there's a section for, it's called Send My Scores, and they ask you for your credit card information. Now, you have to allow at least 3 to 4 weeks unless you rush your scores, and that is a faster process. But most colleges do something called super scoring. Has anyone heard of that word? Yes? Okay. Not all schools do it, but super scoring means if you send them scores from maybe the May administration and the June administration, and you've done better in May on your math than June, then they would take the higher score of both tests, the English and the verbal, and that's what they would use to make their admissions decision, okay? Colleges also recalculate your GPA, all right? They'll throw out the electives, they'll throw out the gym, the health, all that. So just something to keep in mind. There is something also with College Board called score choice, meaning you pick the date of the test that you want to send, all right? You don't have to have everything sent. Okay, again, if you have questions, you want more information, go to the College Board website. Now, testing dates. We already had the March. At Lawrence, we test in May and June. Deadlines for registration, April 4th for May. For June, it's May 9th. Okay, now, these 2 testing dates are extremely heavy testing. Rider University, a couple blocks over, they do soccer tournaments every spring. We get kids that come in from out of state. They know they're coming here because of soccer. They register to test here at Lawrence. So you want to, if you're thinking about testing, and again, colleges want to see a junior year score as well as a senior year score. So you need to get on and get registered, all right? We test again in October and November. Those dates have not been defined yet, so they're still tentative. Don't miss the deadline. We can't let you walk in anymore. Years ago, you could be a walk-in tester, not allowed anymore. We have sample registration materials in guidance, also the booklets with sample questions. Take the time to look them over and practice. College Board also has sample tests on their website, and they do something called a question a day that you can sign up for. Okay, subject tests, before you go signing up for these, have an idea of what colleges you're interested in. Ms. Coben mentioned you should have a list of about 10 schools you're interested in. Check their requirements, see if you even need to take the subject test. Most colleges, if they require subject tests, you will need to take 3, okay? You can take the tests in May or June. The idea is to take the test when you've completed an honors or an AP class, the highest level of a course, okay? The idea is that they use these tests for placement purposes sometimes, and it also differentiates you from other students by taking these. You can't take them the same day as the SAT, that's the only bad part. The tests, subject tests are an hour long, so you can do 3 in one day and be finished with it. Questions about this? Okay, ACT. How many of you have heard of the ACT? Okay. Right now, in history, this is a first, colleges are more favorable to the ACT than the SAT. It's actually more popular. It started out as a Midwestern standardized test, and whereas the Eastern Coast was SAT, but not the case anymore. The nice part about ACT is it's more geared towards you as a student. All the things you've learned through the years, it's more achievement-based rather than the critical thinking. There's also a science section in ACT, and the scoring is a little bit different. Scores range from 1 to 36, so that just looks like it's different when you're looking at hundreds with the SATs. Again, you're going to get on the ACT website. You have to scan your picture in for registration. Same type of security measures. You have to have your picture ID and a photo ID when you come to take your test. Sections we talked about. Writing. ACT does something different. I can wait till you're done talking. Okay, there's 2 kinds of tests with ACT. One is a no writing, and the other is called plus writing. I always think it's better to do the plus writing. It's an extra 30 minutes, it's an extra $15, but colleges use this instead of the SAT subject test that we mentioned. They do use this reading, so you're actually getting a bargain in the end, and you're getting it done on the same day as the ACT test. Okay. Testing dates, Lawrence is also a test site for ACT. We have June coming up. The June testing date is 1 week after the SATs. So if you wanted to try both tests, which is something we recommend, take the SAT, take the ACT, see how you do as a junior. Then register during the summer for whichever test you feel you did better with or you're more comfortable with. So you have October to take your SATs. Meanwhile, ACT tests in September, so you could actually repeat both of them again if you needed to. Again, don't miss the deadlines, and we have the practice books. Somebody have a question?
When's the ACT deadline?
I'm sorry?
The ACT deadline.
ACT, it's also in April. I think it's April 14th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll turn it over to Mr. D'Angelo. Her question was, we were talking about taking the SAT and the ACT as a junior, okay? And if you do really well, do you have to take it again? Is that what you were asking? Yeah. Colleges, the answer is yes, you do need to take them again, because colleges like to see your junior year scores, and they believe that there's a growth factor, a maturity factor that kicks in over the summer when you're doing maybe college courses, maybe you're doing summer programs, you're reading, you're doing things. So chances are your scores in the fall are going to be higher as a senior. So they like that comparison. Also, it's to your advantage. A college that does super scoring, maybe you do better in the fall, okay? So you're giving yourself an extra opportunity for your admissions.
Okay, before I give it to Mr. D'Angelo, please put yourselves in the best position possible when you take the test. Have a good dinner the night before, get a good night's sleep, and make sure you have breakfast. It's a long test. Dinner should not be at McDonald's. It should be a good dinner so you have some energy when you need it. And then going back to what Ms. Coben was talking about earlier, soon the counselor is going to meet with you about your courses for senior year 2. We're trying to get you into good colleges. We're going to push you guys to take a challenging schedule senior year. Okay, you can't have an easy senior year and still get into a good college. Now, the CareerPrep program looks great, because if you do it, you do well, you're showing those colleges, those 4-year colleges, that you could succeed in college level classes while you're still in high school. Something to consider. Mr. D'Angelo.
I charge them $1.50 a minute, so they always try to limit my time up here as much as possible so they don't have to pay me. Athletes in the room who are planning on playing sports in college, you want to make sure that you register on the NCAA Clearinghouse, also called the Eligibility Center. This is where the NCAA is going to make sure that you've gotten all of the coursework that you need in order to be eligible at the college level. And also, you're able to look at a chart. It's like a conversion chart that is matching your SAT or ACT score with what they consider a comparable grade point average. So you're able to see whether or not you're in range to be considered for college athletics. This is something that individually when we meet, we're going to get you into your Naviance account and we're going to help you guys learn about how to do a college search to try to identify schools according to what Ms. Coben and Mrs. Welsh was talking about in terms of match schools and reach schools and all of that stuff. One of the things that we always make at a point to talk to you guys about is visiting schools, and every year we get a handful of students that find California very appealing. But when we talk about trying to visit all of the schools you apply to, you have to be realistic in terms of where it is you think that you're going to be able to get to visit campuses. And if you're applying to 6 or 7 schools in California, it's very difficult to get there during the school year and to be able to visit each one of those campuses. So keep that in mind when you're adding schools to your lists. This is, we got permission from the Lawrences to use their screens. Larry and his sisters Lauren and Linda, they graduated a few years ago. Some of you might have siblings that graduated with them. This is an example of the list of schools that Larry, who now all of a sudden is back, and he's graduating in 2014 with you guys. This is his list of schools. You'll see he's one of the ones that we talked about applying to too many schools. So Larry can't really figure out what he wants to do after high school. But this is what it will look like after you add schools to your list. This is a scattergram that Mrs. Welsh mentioned earlier, and it puts you on a chart. You'll see the circle, so you're able to compare yourself with other applicants to these same schools. Okay, so this will let you know how realistic a school this is for you. Great tool. College visits, briefly about this, we ask you to try to visit each campus that you're applying to. If you could stay over and sleep on campus, eat their food, talk to some students, possibly even attend a class, that makes your experience and your visit even more meaningful to let you know whether that campus is for you. But in most cases, many schools can arrange a tour for you on fairly short notice. So if you're very interested in touring a school, all you need to do is call the campus, let them know you're interested, and they can put one together for you pretty quickly. Okay. If you go onto each school's website, one of the first things that you'll see also is a listing of their open houses. So you'll be able to see when their open houses are scheduled, and that's a big show that they put on for you. They'll feed you and they'll tour you around the school, so that's a fun event also.
Real fast, I just want to tell you, you've been getting emails from me through Naviance about the college fair. It's April 22nd. You can check the site, the Counselors Association. Every week I update the list. We've got well over 100 colleges so far. Fair is free. Make sure you come with your parents. Make a list before you come of who you want to talk to.
Okay, we've got through most of the important slides. If any guys have questions, you'll be meeting with your counselor soon. Thank you for your attention. Thank you to Mr. Irvin for taping this. This will be online soon if you want to watch it again. Tell your parents. Thank you, juniors.